Inherent evil can be defined as mankind containing types of evil within their DNA. People demonstrate their inherent evil for many reasons, although many are individual motives. Some examples are anger, hate, control, and domination. Evil exists in everyone, although some people demonstrate much greater immoral actions than others. Many more examples are greed, theft, lying, cheating, vandalism, physical and mental abuse, murder, misconduct, and prejudice. A person who demonstrates a clear image of evil is Canadian Bruce McArthur. He's a complicated man who has lived an extraordinarily bizarre and disturbing life. As a brief overview of his past, he was born on October 8, 1951, and grew up near Woodville. Throughout his childhood, Bruce was recognized as a teacher's pet, even as he attended Fenland Falls Secondary School. To fast forward a couple years, he began a family with a woman named Janice, and they had 2 children together. He worked as a salesman for McGregor Hosiery until becoming a self-employed landscaper. During a rough area in his timeline, he lost both of his parents due to illness, and was later divorced before he joined the gay community and moved to Toronto in the late 1990s. The initial fact, which describes his first contribution to evil, took place on Halloween in 2001, as he aggressively beat a man with an iron pipe. McArthur turned himself in and did not experience jail time, for reports suggested a low risk he would reoffend. The following fact in McArthur's evil takes place a few years later, as men began disappearing in Toronto between 2010 and 2017, and a large amount of men placed complaints against Bruce, as they described their unpleasant violent encounters. Excessive choking and unwanted aggressive touching from Bruce sent the multiple men directly for help. An adjacent fact takes place throughout many years as the police began to observe Bruce's actions with close attention, and they discovered a severely shaken man who was described as in a kill position, located in McArthur's apartment, tied down. Unfortunately, Bruce was not present at the time, which means he was not arrested upon the gruesome finding. Another fact to prove inherent evil is omitted as the police look further into the suspicious McArthur, as they discover dismembered remains of several men in planter boxes at a residence where McArthur stored his landscaping supplies. He is known as an alleged serial killer of 8 people at this point in time. Many suspicions believe he has committed more crimes related to murder, since it is unusual for someone to begin killing others at the age of 60. A final fact to demonstrate the evil quality that was once hidden beneath Bruce himself was discovered after the arrest of Thomas Donald Bruce McArthur on January 18, 2018. As the forces searched his belongings for evidence, images were found on his computer of the men he had murdered. Bruce McArthur demonstrates that humans are inherently evil and lack morality, as he committed multiple gruesome crimes, many of which resulted in the death of his possible victims, as he has alleged. Although his contribution to evil is horrifically large, every day immoral actions are committed by unsuspected civilians, for they used to seem innocent and perfect. People change at extraordinarily rapid paces as they discover a motive to perform evil actions. Within a lifetime, everyone will have partaken in a morally objectifying act, such as theft, cheating, or even murder. Other than legal crimes, a person is able to decide for themselves what they consider an evil or immoral action. For example, person A may believe that animal abuse is considered immoral, but to person B, it is not. To conclude, Bruce McArthur displays how humans are remarkably evil. Helen Horsham is an antagonist in the novel Elizabeth is Missing by Emma Healy. Helen is the daughter of the protagonist, Maud Horsham. Her actions toward her mother are significantly immoral. She chooses to take care of her mother every day, although she acts as if she dislikes her mother greatly. She pretends to strangle her mother in mirrors. Another evil fragment of Helen was her over-controlling personality towards Maud, as she was locked inside her house on her own, as she believes Maud is unable to survive a walk outside to get her own fresh air. Her evil actions toward her mother have created an extremely complicated relation between them. Throughout the English course, we have read multiple short stories, which included examples of evil and immoral actions. In the short story Lather and Nothing Else, the Captain Torres finds amusement while publicly slaughtering rebels. He used the bodies of the rebels for target practice, as he created a spectacle that people passing by were forced to watch. In the short story On the Sidewalk Bleeding, the Guardians gang stabbed a member of the Royals, which are the opposing gang. The boy was stabbed only because of the purple jacket he chose to wear, which signified his loyalty to the gang. Finally, in the short story, The Possibility of Evil contains an elderly woman who displays a fake moral while meeting her acquaintances in public. She secretly sends letters to members of the community to bluntly criticize their actions and emotions. She chooses to send the letters anonymously so that she isn't held accountable for the reaction of the citizens. To conclude, evil is an inherent trait, which signifies that humans are unable to avoid it. It is a similarity between all of mankind. The immoral actions are presented in an immense variety of methods. The size of the act is a divergent topic, although throughout a lifetime, everyone will commit a sort of immoral action, because evil is inevitable.